Alright, here we go. Alright, this is our pro. Let's go. Hey.
Let's go.
Woo! Hey. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Elevated Podcast. I'm so excited to be here with you guys yet another week. To all the new listeners, welcome. This is a place that I created that because I just wanted to, encourage people, inspire people, and more than anything, allow us to grow and expand in different territories of our lives. I'm actually here with a good friend of mine. I'm quickly learning to love her. She's amazing. She's someone that I admire, even though I don't tell her because, she gets big-headed.
No.
But I'm going to go ahead and allow her to introduce herself.
My name is Sara Castro. Hi, I'm honored
Sara
to be here.
Castro.
I'm so grateful, and I'm ready for what we're going to talk about today.
What we're going to talk about? Tell them what we're going to talk about today.
What we're going to talk about today. Self-love. Love yourself.
It's Love Yourself October, yes.
Woo!
So let's go ahead and get started on this episode.
Alright.
I'm going to go ahead and get started off with a quote. Low self-esteem is like driving through life with your hand brake on. Max Waltz. There's this interesting book that he wrote that I'm going to go ahead and talk about. He talks a lot about kind of like the psychology of self-esteem and things like that. So definitely, I don't know why I'm saying that. But anyways, if you guys want to check that out. Anyways, in this episode, I actually wanted to encourage my listeners to refocus their worth. Sometimes we are too focused and fixated on what society or what culture wants from us that we forget who we really are. Now, we will venture in 3 key points that I hope will help you refocus your worth, me alongside Sara. All right. My first point is the origin of unworthiness. My second point is overcoming negative thoughts. And my third and last point is it's okay to change. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready. I was born ready.
Yes, sir.
Let's run it.
Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. My first point, the origin of unworthiness. Now, at some point or another, I believe we all have felt unvalued, worthless, or insignificant. Sara, have you ever felt like you were going through a season in your life that you felt like this?
Yeah, of course. I think we all do. I mean, I've had a lot of seasons like that. I'm in one
right now.
I'm in one right now. No. I'm good right now. God bless.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. It started when I was little. Because I was always taught to be humble, but I got so humble to the point where I was like, I'm not worthy to be here. And I think that's where it all started for me, being too humble. I mean, It's always good to be humble.
Right.
Like, be humble or express what you get. It's all on you.
Absolutely.
But I guess my worst season was being way too humble to the point where I had the thought of I'm not worthy of being here. I'm not worthy of what's given to me at all.
Yeah.
And I think that was my true toughest season in my whole life.
I love that. Now, I believe that feeling meaningless kind of begins with outside noise. And it seeps in through our thoughts, and then it sinks to our hearts, and then soon to our soul, and then our actions. We do things that
come on.
Yeah. And so, do you think that alongside with me? Absolutely.
Of course.
Now, what was the outside source? I know that you talked about being humble when you were little. What was that source that kind of like sparked all these negative thoughts?
I mean, also with the people outside, they fill you in with like comments that aren't true. You're ugly. You're fat. I was fat, but that's kind of true.
I was fat too, though.
That's kind of true.
Shout out to God for all the food, you feel me?
For real, yeah. But I think if you let yourself intake all those negative things that people are telling you, that's gonna create the feeling of unworthiness. And but I do think it's based on a lot of what comes from outside.
Yeah. And what was that source? Like, was it like just your parents telling you need to be humble, or was it kind of like you like analyzing people around you saying like, I don't want to be like them, or what kind of like?
Yeah, I think it was more like, because I was taught that, to be humble, and I was like, and also in like church, you know, I grew up in the church, and they're always like, be humble, humble yourself, humble yourself.
Oh.
But yeah, I guess it was mostly me. I took it too far to the point where I was like, to feeling like that, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was mostly how I grew up, being taught that, and then me just overstepping it, I guess.
Now, this brings us to my second point, overcoming negative thoughts. I think the number one enemy of joy is comparison. And comparison depletes a lot of good things. As human beings, we tend to, compete or compare our lives with Instagram models, professional musicians. If you don't know that she's a boss, bass player. So I can mention she's actually gonna play Echoes. So be on the lookout, everybody. We're gonna make it happen. We're speaking it to life. You feel me?
What God wants, what God wants.
Exactly. And so we just do a lot of comparison. And you as a person, how do you stay away from that? How do you combat those thoughts of, oh, I need to be this skinny, or I need to be this skin, I don't know, whatever, you know?
That's where it comes into self-love, to the point where you love yourself and you're like, I don't need to be like anyone else.
Yes,
that's right. Hashtag Love Yourself October, created by
your one and only.
One. No, but yeah, I think it's once you start loving yourself, you don't care what other people say of you, because you're like, I am one, I am me. I don't care what you say about me, you know?
Yeah.
I'm unique in my own way.
Yeah, I think the best thing that I've ever heard God say, and maybe not me, like he said it to me, but as I read through scripture, he commands Moses to go and free his people, and Moses is like, well, who am I? You know, he starts putting excuses. He starts saying like, my brother is better, he's more eloquent, this and that, and God just tells him, tell the people that I am sent you.
That's right.
And so it's so beautiful when we apply God in our lives, that we get this source of identity as great, not because of who we are, but because of who we have inside. You know, and so thoughts feed our soul, they feed our heart, which turns to actions. What are things that you have to remind yourself day in and day out, even when it's bad or it's ugly or it's really dark? What are some things that you have to continually tell yourself?
So one of my friends always says, todo va a estar bien. It's always gonna be good. It's always gonna be okay. He even has a shirt that says todo va a estar bien.
Okay.
And even when he wears it, I see him at church and I'm like, todo va a estar bien. And I think that's the main thing. I always have to remind myself that when I'm going through a struggle, it's gonna be okay, because you're not gonna be in this hole forever. You know?
Yeah, and what are some things that refuel those thoughts every day? Is it music you listen to? Is it elevated podcast that you listen to? Is it?
Yeah, that was the one on top. On top.
What are some things that you read, or what is it that allows you to self-remind yourself every single day of how valued, how loved you are?
I think it's seeing. I could bring in because I think friends do have an impact in that as well. You see how much they care for you.
That's good. And
I'm like, wow, like they love me, I love you. You love me, I love you. Like they're like the ones you see that are truly there for you. And also the word, of course. Whenever I'm feeling low self and just unworthy, like you said, or I have to remind myself, I go to the word. I'm like, God, speak to me. I open it, that's what he's telling me.
Yeah, I love it. So we're actually at our last point. She was
ready?
She was a little nervous. She was a little nervous.
Let's keep it going. Come on.
She was a little nervous. And so my last point is, it's okay to change. Talking about refocusing, you know, this will make you shift your habits. It'll make you change your routine. It'll eventually make your lifestyle change.
Yeah.
What are some events that you've experienced which have led you to need change? Like you need. I know you were talking about friends. When was the time that you said, I need to change my friends? I need to refocus who my friends are. I need to reconsider certain things that I'm hearing, certain music, or certain things that I'm watching, certain things that I'm eating. If you want to get skinny, I don't know if you want. Not just kidding, I love you.
I mean, skinny queen.
Yes, ma'am.
No, but I think, like you said, with friends, they have a true, like, if you're with them all the time, like, you're gonna get what they feed to you as well, you know? Like, you're gonna get who you're with, you know? And I think if that's your question, like, changing of friends, or I see that, because I grew up in church, you know, I'm gonna get a little religious.
Okay,
you know?
go ahead.
I grew up in church, and like we're taught to be away from the world, you know, not away from the world, but away from things that doesn't lift up God's name. And I guess when you go to a public school, there's always those, like, the devil here, devil over there, all this over here.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. But I guess when I started really getting into like my church and into that, I was like, I gotta change, because this isn't what God wants me to be. He doesn't want me to walk in this path. He wants me to be walking this path and following His direction to where He wants me to be. But yeah, it's really self-discipline as well. You love those friends so much, but it's like, it's for the better for me.
I know that this is hashtag Love Yourself October, and I really emphasize it just because I think that there is this depleting kind of, like, people don't have identity, people don't have self-love, people don't have purpose, people are without direction. And so without, talking about self-love, what are some things that a person that's struggling with loving themselves, with saying, well, I can't be selfish in a sense, like, I need to please my friends, I need to please the culture, I need to please society, I need to please everything around me except me, and they're battling with that. What would you give advice to that person?
I mean, this will go to me as well, because I'm just like that. I want to see everyone happy around me. I want to please others. I want them to not see me in my lows, but see me in my highs. And dang, that's a really tough question, because I struggle with that a lot. Recently I've been starting to, like, work on yourself. Like, you show this whole person, but when you're at home, that's when the thoughts get you, and you don't please yourself. I'm not pleasing myself. But one thing I can say is, I guess, just stop. Like, I really, to be so honest, I wouldn't be able to answer that question, because a lot of us struggle with that. We want to please others, we want to please God, we want to please the people that we love, but we don't really focus on ourselves. But that's when this month comes in, and you focus on yourself.
I was actually having a conversation with God the other day, and I was asking Him, I asked Him, God, like, I already had this whole concept of hashtag Love Yourself October, and this was like a couple of days ago, and I was like, God, is this even you? Like, is this even you? And He answered me. He said, I want you to love yourself the way that I love you. And so, it spoke volumes, just because it allowed me to understand that, number one, it's not selfish. Number two, it's not like practical. This is like everyday living. Like, I believe that people don't want to be happy. People genuinely want to be healthy, but they just don't know what that is. They want to be mentally healthy. They want to be spiritually healthy. They want to be emotionally healthy. They just want to be okay with who they are, with their identity, with their purpose, with their destiny. And everybody wants to feel some sort of fulfillment, but that fulfillment will never be there unless you're actually healthy and not happy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's my advice to you guys. Love Yourself October. I always want to end with a question. I love this question just because it allows me to get into who you really are. Sarah, you are in your deathbed. You're in your deathbed, maybe like 59 to like 89 years from now.
I want to make it to 90.
There you go. You're at 90 years old.
What God wants.
What God wants. But you're there, and everyone around you that you love is there. Okay. What are your last words?
Viva Mexico!
Yeah! Arriba! Arriba!
Dang, my last.
I swear to God, like, I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, I swear to God, I'm not even kidding. I swear Sarah would be like she would be like, let's say we go out right now, we go outside, she gets shot, and she's okay or whatever, but I'm like, yo, you alright? And she'll be like, did it look cool? Like, something stupid.
Did it look cool? Do I look tight?
Dude, I
Did you get that on camera?
Dude, she would say that. I swear to God,
No,
she
I
would.
wouldn't.
Yes, you would.
Gosh.
I swear you would.
Maybe. Okay, so I'm on my deathbed. So what, I just rise up?
No, you're just like talking to your fellow loved ones.
Oh, yeah, I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, you're not dead yet. You're just like your last words on earth.
Be you, be true. I say that a lot. Be you, be true. And Psalms 103.
Dang, that me up.
That me up. Good.
Yes, sir. Good.
Yeah, be you, be true.
All right, well, sadly, guys, it has come to a sad moment.
No, he has one more question.
Yeah. Sarah, thank you so much for being here.
It was an honor.
Thank you for
having
joining
me.
Elevated Community. I love you so much.
I
You
wanted
are
to come
an
again.
inspiration. So that me up
I
all
was
the time.
scared,
For the
but
camera.
I wanted to keep going.
I love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next time, we'll see you guys around. I love you guys. I'll pray for you guys. And keep doing y'all. And remember, hashtag love yourself October. Let's
and
go.
it's not selfish. Not selfish.
Yes. That was such a good episode. That was a really good episode. We're not even gonna, it wasn't recording, imagine. Yeah.
Stop.